If you would all please stay standing for the national anthem, which will be sung by the Madrigals under the direction of Mr. Weatherby.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may now be seated. Good afternoon and welcome. As we begin this afternoon's commencement ceremony, I would like to introduce some very important people that's here today. I'm Dr. Kristen Kraft, Principal, Andover High School, Mr. Brett White, Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Russell Miller, Dr. Russell Miller, Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, Mrs. Jill Lockenmeyer, Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction, and Mrs. Susan Devon, Andover USD 385 Board Member. I would now like to introduce Emma Sinclair, Andover High School Senior Class President. Emma is the daughter of Tim and Deidre Sinclair. Emma will be giving this year's welcome speech to the students and their honored guests. Emma, would you please come forward?
Classmates, friends, family, and staff, hello and welcome to the graduation ceremony of the class of 2021. My name is Emma Sinclair, and I have had the honor of being your senior class president. As one of our most influential teachers, Master Ogwe, once proclaimed, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. This also happens to be our class motto. However, I think it really embodies one of the main reasons that we are here today. In the midst of this crazy graduation, I would like to be the first to invite you to pause from the chaos of life in a pandemic, embrace the present moment, and celebrate the accomplishments of this class. Our journey has not been without blood, sweat, and tears. Thank you, AP classes. But we have still somehow managed to make it to this point. Graduation is one door closing and another opening, but should also be a reminder to take a moment to live in the now. However, I would think it would be unfair to begin the celebration of this great milestone without first acknowledging the people that have walked beside us throughout this journey. During our time here at Andover High, we have all been helped by countless teachers, parents, and community members that have shaped us into the people we are today. If you haven't heard it yet directly from your graduate, let me be the first today. Thank you. It is easy to take for granted these contributions to our growth, but let's not forget that caring about our well-being was never in a teacher's job description. Walking across this stage today will not only be a testament to our hard work and perseverance, but to the community built around Andover High School. After today, as we move forward into the future, pursuing our post-secondary education and careers, it will become easier and easier to forget who made us who we are. Take a look at any successful person you can think of, whether that be a celebrity or someone personal that you know. Every one of these people not only knows what they stand for, but pays homage to those that help push them forward. As we go forward and face even more unknown challenges, we will always have this community to support us. Similar to our ability to adapt to a new building, a pandemic, and a variety of other changes that have happened throughout our education career, I have faith that each one of us will continue to adapt to our own personal new challenges and continue to grow on our paths to success. Now, some of you might be asking, why am I so optimistic about the future of this class? To this I say, we have already successfully navigated so many obstacles to get to this day. One of the biggest being that our senior year looked nothing like we would have imagined it to. While the memories we made all look slightly different, we can confidently say that the experiences we shared were nothing short of unforgettable. As a class, we have been given the opportunity to bond over these shared experiences. We have all survived the horrors of the parking lot, rained out Trojan nights, and the emergence of bedbugs along the way. These events have turned not only to friends, but for some of us, family. So as you look around today at these friends that you've known since kindergarten, or that teenager you've raised for the past 18 years that suddenly has an attitude, or that niece or nephew or grandkid that never seemed to have time on their hands, be proud of them. Because these 4 years weren't always easy. Whether we were being berated by a teacher, competing for spots in a performance, or simply attempting to make it to bed before midnight, every small moment was leading up to this ceremony today and preparing us for the big change that will happen when we step outside of our safe high school bubble. And for most of us, that change may be big and scary, but that's okay. Because thanks to Andover High School, we have not only been taught how to titrate and calculate slope, we have been provided with experiences that will prove to be some of the most defining moments of our lives. To my fellow classmates, while I can't remember what most of you look like from the nose down, our shared experiences have created memories that will last a lifetime. Thank you, and welcome to the graduation ceremony of the class of 2021.
Great job, Emma. Thank you. Our musical piece is Sing Together, arranged by Jacob Narvarod, and will be performed by the senior Andover High School choir members. The choir is under the direction of Mr. Aaron Weatherby and accompanied by Mrs. Laurel Delamont. Are the senior choir members? Oh, are we listening to it? It's recorded. Okay, it's recorded. Thank you. Each year, the senior student council members provide us a little insight into their special class memories. This year's Stuco presenters are Grant Phelps, son of Tommy and Becky Phelps, Elizabeth Chaffin, daughter of Mark and Mary Ellen Chaffin, Brian Ellis, son of John and Laura Ellis, and Isabella Warple, daughter of Oslam and the late Neil Warple.
As 8th graders, we thought we were on top of the world, prepared for anything. Coming in as a freshman was a big step that not everyone was ready for, yet we all took a leap. We were intimidated seniors who were, in our eyes, full-grown adults. None of us expected the excitement and joys that our high school career could bring. In our first year of high school, all of us got to experience the beauty of events that our older friends or siblings had been hyping up since they were freshmen. The first of these events was Trojan Night. Typical of freshmen, we were pink and orange, two colors that really don't go together. On and off the field, it was truly our first time having to come together as a class and put something together that was bigger than the individual. We persevered through a lot of the unexpected troubles we faced with building a float, so we were ecstatic that we didn't get last, even if we didn't get first, but it was still a great first-class experience. Coming in from 8th grade, we had dominated the sports scene. We had gone undefeated in both football and basketball during our middle school career. There are many great athletes in this class, and that was shown by the number of us in each sport who made the varsity team. Although this was the case, all of us were in for a shock when competing against people who were 3 or 4 years older than us in what seemed like 3 or 4 times our size. We were so used to doing a lot of things within our class, so we had our first experience with upperclassmen mentors guiding us to adapt and persevere with the older, tougher, and stronger competition. Even so, we were able to beat our crosstown rivals, whose field we are standing on today, ironically, in a basketball game by a buzzer beater made by our very own Jack Johnson. Our freshman year, Varsity Kansas had ranked us #1 for student section and was a great experience to be involved in, even if we were cheering from the back. Being involved with music and performing arts was also a new thing to us. Sure, us middle schoolers got to play in the band, but as freshmen, we had a new responsibility of playing with these upperclassmen. It used to be just our grade, but now we had to practice harder in order to play up to par with these older people who had years of experience on us. We got to experience marching band in all of its glory, along with new choirs and the ability to be in a musical and/or a play. We were all starting to find our passions during our first year in this fine educational institution that we call home. With a little bit of high school time under our belts, we were eager to step into our next year of high school.
The second year of high school has never really stuck out. We started driving to school sophomore year, a new sense of freedom that we had never experienced before. And as long as we didn't park in the designated parking spots, we were looking at a great year ahead of us. We were the middle students, nothing special. But that title didn't stop us from having high aspirations for our grade. We had high hopes of winning Trojan Night. With this Trojan Night, we learned from our past experiences in costume design, learning from freshman year that tutus are not very functional. We also created the new rule that there can be no living elements on our floats. Oops, sorry trees. With hours and hours of hard work, we were wrongly given second place to the class of 2019. This was the first year the majority of us started standardized testing. ACTs and SATs started to control our future, even though it seemed so far away. College started to become a reality, planning out the classes we took and the extracurriculars we were involved in as a result of where our futures were headed. We learned how to grind and study, to hunker down and hit the books. We were first introduced to Schaefer, our love and hate for difficult classes. We learned what it took to be a real high school student. Our athletics continued to improve. We saw more and more of us rise to varsity level. We moved up to the student section, being able to kick the freshmen to the back and cheer behind the upperclassmen we would soon be. We were able to see more of the action, such as someone being chased out of the gym during the national anthem. Our accolades kept increasing, and we began to close in on our school and team records, while also taking on more leadership roles on our teams. We went into new journalism curriculum and learned about the production of the Blue Streak, Epic Yearbook, and the growing ASN classroom. This was our first year in all-state band and all-state choir. We were able to dive into higher-level art programs, working hard in the musical Once Upon a Mattress and the election for the spring play. We also had our first gas leak, a bit different than a snow day, a little warmer. Along with new and exciting starts, we also had to say goodbye to clubs, a true tearjerker. We also started to say goodbye to our childhood selves. We started to grow up this year, focusing on what we wanted to put first, getting jobs, volunteering, and finding the rhythm of high school. We're becoming who we are now, building our character one leak in the ceiling at a time.
Let me just say the weather could not be more fitting for our class. Distinct from nearly every grade before us, our junior year was not only memorable, but life-changing. Obviously, the elephant in the room looms large, and for most of us, the COVID-19 pandemic will be one that forever lives in our memories. Let's not let ourselves forget all of the other moments that happened throughout our junior year. Just like any year of high school, junior year had its highs and lows. Our junior year started off with a damp smell and the buzz of humidifiers as our old building was reaching the end of its long-lived career. We pushed past this and were optimistic for our first year as upperclassmen. We knew going into this year that Trojan Night was ours. This victory would take more perseverance than we realized, however, as the seniors stole the trophy. The first rain delay ever in Trojan Night history happened, and we had to adapt. Following Trojan Night, a large amount of our grade got an amazing opportunity to go on the band trip to Orlando. Some of us in particular really stole the show. Along with the band, those of us in sports started to become leaders on our teams and gain the full respect of others around us. This leadership was also shared by our peers in other extracurriculars, such as speeches, debate, link leaders, National Honor Society, and Thespian Society, along with countless other extracurricular activities and leadership positions. Just as every leader does, as we gain more freedom and respect throughout the school, we began to become the people that we are today. As we began to take charge of this new independence, we were hit with a challenge that no one could have predicted. As we began to take, our spring break was turned into a 2-week break, and then into summer. The end of what was supposed to be the most academically challenging year of high school became the most mentally challenging year of our lives. Well, it is very easy to look at this with a negative mindset. Let's take an alternate perspective. Quarantine allowed us to take a break from our loaded junior year, and I would argue, amplified our individual characteristics and personality. As I mentioned previously, this unique situation our class was put in is something that our parents and future kids alike will not be able to fully understand. But we should use this as motivation, not discouragement. We were able to adapt and overcome the unexpected. Our strength will be admired by future generations, and living through COVID, which has now been taken as a normalcy, shows our strength. I am proud of who we are and what we have accomplished.
It's senior year, and now we are the big fish, but in a new pond. As freshmen, we had dreamed about what senior year would be like, And trust me, it was not like this. After having our junior year cut short, going back to school seemed foreign, especially with a new building. We started off the year with a hybrid learning model and had to figure out how to learn from home because whatever we were doing in the spring wasn't going to cut it. Activities started back up again, and we had the privilege of being able to play and spectate the sports that we love. We were able to have a student section for football, and even though it might not have been 100% the same, we made the most of it and cheered our hearts out. And we came out of the fall sports season with our Andover pride and one less ACL. Sorry, Jim. Go Army. We didn't have our usual Trojan night or homecoming, but we were able to enjoy some other activities, such as senior late night at Chicken and Pickle. During the winter, we were all able to enjoy our last musical, You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, watch our Scholars Bowl team dominate, and root for the Trojans in our winter sports. After spring break, we were able to get back to school full time. While we were excited to see everyone again, it felt like we were starting the year all over. Even though it was difficult, we adjusted and slowly got back into our normal routine. Now, with an improving COVID situation, we were able to have even more activities to finish our senior year, such as spring fling, senior zoo trip, spring sports season, off the wall, and senior sunset. The whole year was filled with many lasts, but it was also filled with new beginnings. People were committing to colleges, joining the military, deciding to go out into the workforce, and making plans for what our future would look like. This year was a difficult year for us all, but we had made it through as a class. We made the best of what we had because that is what we do. We take a situation or an obstacle and continue to get past it and come back stronger on the other side. We as a class had to persevere in order to make it to the finish line, and now this is it. This is the finish line. The class of 2021 may not have had the normal senior year that we all wanted, but we had learned so much along the way with the help of our families, teachers, friends, and classmates who have always been there for us when we needed them the most. Don't forget the lessons you've learned this year and continue to carry them with you no matter where life takes you. Thank you.
Thank you, Student Council. Since 1995, Pixar Studios has given us heartwarming stories and unforgettable characters. The music created for these films is an integral part of their popularity and charm and is also the music that our graduates have grown up with. Michael Brown has created a terrific medley of these familiar melodies from the movies The Incredibles, Up, Ratatouille, Cars, and Toy Story. Please enjoy this final performance of the senior band members. The band is under the direction of Mr. Ray Linville, Mrs. Madison Hines, and Mr. Michael Rapour.
It's a little wet. Wait, no, use the wrong one.
turn. Extra music in the world. I saw it. To make sure that nobody has a phone scene.
Doing a very sax part?
Okay. Playing that music.
Especially when the principal asked, hey, this trio work?
So clarinet players getting ready. These microphones are only for the live stream. So play out. One more B flat. Grant one more for
How do I
clarinet.
play an F sharp?
Yeah, your tenor's back. Your tenor's right back there at the concession stand. Want to run get it real quick? Yeah, sure. Go fast. It's on the concession stand.
Hey, give me more time to tune.
Is it out?
It's alright, hey. This just helps us really helps describe how our class is. Hey, Olivia, how you doing?
No, I'm not good. She's dying.
Yeah, I can tell. Good. Just be glad you didn't have to give a speech like that.
You don't have to give me.
I know, I'm just saying, be glad you don't have to. That's yes, sir.
Mine's getting soggy. Just a little bit. Okay. But maybe.
How dare they?
I cheered.
Thank you. Alright, I'm ready. There we go. What? Three.
Beautiful performance. Thank you, senior band members. I would now like to introduce Jordan Lobb, Andover High School Student Body President. He is the son of Jason and Cindy Lobb. Jordan will be giving this year's commencement speech to the class of 2021.
How you doing, Jordan?
Start whenever you want.
Well, guys, we made it. I think that is the most common phrase to start off a graduation speech with. But I think for us, that phrase means just a little bit more than a regular class. Our journey to this point has had its share of obstacles, like those rainy and cold Trojan I work sessions, online continuous learning, the parking epidemic of sophomore, junior, and senior year, and the greatest plague the world has seen in the past century was in our way. But yeah, that parking was a big one. But none of that stops us. We didn't waver in the face of adversity, and we've come out stronger and smarter because of it. I don't think there's much more life could throw at us. It's done almost all it can, and we're all still here fighting the good fight. Most importantly, through it all, we were here for one another and have pushed through the uncertainty these past couple years have brought us. I would like to thank all the parents, teachers, staff, administrators, and board members for being here today. This day cannot have happened without help from all of you. And to my mom and dad, I know I don't tell you guys enough, but thank you for everything you have done for me these past 18 years. You've cooked, cleaned, drove, and done so many other things for me that I know I would not have had the success I had without you two there by my side. I know I'm the favorite, so me leaving is going to be hard on you, but that's okay. Mom, you won't be able to track my every move on Life 360 anymore, but if you ever want to know where I'm at or what I'm doing, you can always call. Not too much, though. Now I would like to thank you, my classmates, for electing me to be your president since the 7th grade. Because of your generosity, I've gone to do what I love doing for 6 years, so thank you. You guys have continued to trust in me and my vision for this class. Even after all the paint you used on each other instead of the float, and all the stress you guys put me through at those work sessions, I wouldn't trade you guys for any other class. Side note, I would like to also take right now to apologize to any of you who yelled at while at work sessions. I promise I was never angry at you personally. Little Jordan was under a lot of stress, so that's on me. That's on me. I've had an amazing time getting to grow up with all of you, and I know life has some great planned for all of us. I hope that in your eyes, I have done you a good service these past 6 years, and that you don't look back on your high school careers and think, why did we elect that guy? But today is not just thank yous and congratulations, but celebrating what we as a class have accomplished. We've done so many things these past 4 years. We've created and led so many clubs like FCA, MESAC, the Asian Culture Club, and many others. We've had great successes in sports, band, theater, choir, art, journalism, debate, forensics, and anything else we put our minds to. The scholarships we've accumulated for our academics and athletics well exceeds over $2.5 million, which I don't think many classes can say they've done. We created the new traditions of senior late night at Chicken and Pickle, Spring Fling, Senior Sunset, a bi-weekly schools newscast, shout out ATVN Productions, and even having our graduation at our own stadium. Well, 4 for 5 isn't too bad, I guess. I'm proud of the traditions we've created for the upcoming classes. Together, we have led them through the seemingly endless hardships this year has brought us with our endless strength and ability to overcome anything that was thrown at us. Take pride in knowing you have led the other grades by our example. Between you and me, I don't think the school could have survived this year without our leadership. We've not only shown the other grades how to do high school, but we've shown them how to rock it. I know the legacy of our academic and athletic achievements, our leadership ability, and most importantly, our parties, will not be soon forgotten, and I'm honored to have been a small part of that legacy. Every staff member at the high school has left an impression on us, and I know each of us has a special staff member that we're going to miss as we move on. It's important to never forget the qualities that made those teachers so great. Whether that's the calming and soothing voice of Mr. Lee, the joke sour Steve made at the expense of sweet Kathy, the extremely off-topic but hilarious discussions with Corn, or whoever else make your days of high school just a little bit more bearable, please go and thank for making every day better than the last. I am now going to leave with you my 4 biggest takeaways from Andover High. The first we should take with us is to greet everyone with a smile, because you never know how much one simple act like that can do. The person who taught me and exemplified this skill was my chemistry teacher, Mr. Bass. Every day he stood there in the hallway, greeted students with a smile, and had conversations with them, no matter if he had them in class or not. Through this, he showed myself and all of his students how he cared not only how we were doing in school, but how we were truly doing. So thank you, Mr. Bass, for showing me not only how to be a good student, but how to be a better man. Never forget the positive effects a smile and conversation can have on people, because you never know how much that one simple act can change their whole day. The second skill is selflessness. Selflessness is being concerned with the wants and needs of others more than oneself. The teacher who has shown me this trait more than anyone else is my Stuco sponsor, Mrs. Niebling. Every day, she works to help plan and execute all the fun activities we in Stuco put on. She works tirelessly inside and outside of class in order to make sure all the events run smoothly. She does all this work, not for the glory that comes with it, but for the satisfaction that comes knowing she made our dances, our Trojan nights, our daily lives at Andover a memorable experience. She doesn't get recognized enough for the countless hours she puts in when no one is watching. So I'm doing it now. For myself and all my graduates, Mrs. Niebling, thank you for everything you do for us and this school. The third skill is adaptability. Our senior year was a crazy one, with challenges coming from all directions. I experienced these challenges every day in Stuco. We'd overcome one challenge and 2 more would pop up in its place. But as a class, we've been adapting since freshman year. We had to adapt to the new parking situations that seemed to change just about every week. We had to adapt to the constant gas leaks and mold in the old building. We had to adapt to virtual learning. We had to adapt to COVID protocols. But most importantly, we had to learn how to adapt to an entirely new school. Fellow graduates, no matter where life takes you, you're going to have to be able to adapt. Rules will change, people will change, scenarios will change, and you're going to have to be able to adapt to those. So don't be caught trying to hang on to the old ways just because you're afraid of what the new ways will bring. The final tool I have to take away is perseverance. We've all been tried and tested at one point or another during our time at Andover. The one that sticks out to me as our greatest showing of perseverance is Trojan Night. After a questionable second place our sophomore year, we had a fire under us to come back and get that W our junior year. With the help of all of you, we were able to put together a pretty impressive display that Typhon himself would be proud of. Just when we were about to begin, lightning struck, and we were rushed into the locker rooms, but we did not let the rain affect our spirits. We persevered. We sang songs, played games, and gave motivational speeches the whole time. Nothing was going to kill our vibe. Sadly, after the hours of waiting, the night ended with us going home covered in smeared silver or purple paint. We left feeling defeated and cheated out of our night of victory. When we eventually heard we were going to be competing once again for what was rightfully ours, we were ecstatic. That day presented its own set of challenges. People were hurt, people couldn't compete, and people didn't want to compete. But none of that mattered, though. We all still banded together with our goal to win in all of our minds. We persevered through the rain, the silver and purple paint still stuck in our ears, the coldness that fateful November day brought us, and Chip, in order to make those 3 years of hard work finally pay off. From that story, please take away that even when your dreams are taken from right in front of you, to persevere and push through, because you will achieve your dreams even when the world is trying to take them from you. During my time in Stuco, I have had many of my ideas shot down and down and down, time and time again. To the probable annoyance of our administrators, I never took no for an answer, and I never gave up. Now, some people may call that ignorance, but I was taught to call that perseverance. Fellow graduates, never quit. Never stop doing what you believe is right, no matter who tells you it's wrong. At our time at Andover, we've made lifelong friendships and relationships that we can always count on in times of need. When we leave here, we're going to make new friends, new memories, and start new adventures. But never forget, nobody really knows what they're doing or what they're supposed to do, so just fake it and act like you've been there before. After we graduate, society tells us it's time to grow up and face reality. I think this is one time society got it wrong. Right now, we are in the prime of our lives. We should be doing what we love to do, not what society.
Time and energy to these graduates and will have an impact on them as they positively influence our community as leaders. For that, we thank you. Graduates, today marks the completion of an important phase in your life. And while some of you will move on to college, a few will serve our nation in the military, and others will enter the workforce. No matter your journey, it is our hope that we have empowered you with knowledge and skills to pursue your life goals. You are celebrating both an ending and a beginning, and you are in control of where this road leads you. Life is a journey, but along the way, we stop to celebrate milestones. And high school graduation is a big one, not only for you, but for your parents as well. You've all worked hard to get to this point, and is really worth celebrating. Please remember to thank your parents, grandparents, and others who have mentored you throughout your journey thus far. You are ready to start a new chapter in your life, and it is a chapter where you write your own story. Make it a good story, a fun story, and a very important story. As Tim McGraw sings in a song, don't take for granted the love this life gives you. And when you get where you're going, don't forget to turn back around and help the next one in line. Always stay humble and kind. So, you see your graduation is an ending worth celebrating, but is also a confident new beginning and surely a memorable milestone on your journey through life. On behalf of the Board of Education, I'd like to congratulate you all and wish you the best of luck going forward. Make us proud. I have no doubt that you will. It is my pleasure to accept the class of 2021 as candidates for graduation from Andover High School.
At this time, Mr. Reedy, Assistant Principal and Athletic Director, as well as Mrs. Reddick, Assistant Principal, please come forward to read the names for the presentation of diplomas. Would the first row of graduates please come forward?
Alicia Paige Adelson. Drennan Catherine Aids. Fawaz Harris Ahmed. Isabella Grace Aikman. Brett Martin Albright. Osman Ahmed Alfrey. Aisha Sadiqa Ali. Emmett Isaiah Anderson. Josie Carol Anderson. William Michael Belandrian. Bethany Dawn Ballinger. Xavier Ty Banuelos. Aaron John Barrett. Jacob William Basinger. Reagan Lane Bailiff.
Jalen Michael Beatles. Emery Lee Bell. Madeline Rose Bishop. Maddox Caleb Bogner. Eleanor Catherine Braynock. Olivia Broche. Riley Ann Brown. Sage Stewart Buckwalder. Heather Catherine Burrow. Ainsley Quinn Butcher. William Peyton Cabrelius. Jackson Daniel Cargyle. Heaven Maria Cedeno. Elizabeth Jane Chaffin. Jaden Rianne Chambers.
Tiffany Sho Chan. Chase Michael Chan Minaraj. Kiki Chin. Drew Michael Cohens. Kojo Benjamin Colecraft Addison. Trey Robert Connard. Riley Allen Cross. Cole Barrett Davis. Elizabeth Ann Davis. Cole Chandler Dean. Jill Ann Dean. Luke Nolan Diefenbach. Kaya Michelle Dingman. Sophia Elizabeth Driver. Ayush Dutta.
Blake Philip Eby. Brian Lynn Ellis. Grace Abigail Estes. Tess Elizabeth Eubank. Andrew Dylan Evans. Eli George Fahnenstock. Samuel Nicholas Fairback. Caleb Young Gaddis. Abaya Elizabeth Gage. Gavin Dakota Gage. Colin Alexander Galloway. Caden Bryce Gearing. Megan Ann Gilmer. Evan Glanville. Natalie Faith Goodman. Kara Michelle Goodnight.
Brennan James Goodwin. Adrian Knock My Gory. Grayson Lane Griffin. Noah Walter Hoberichter. Elijah Michael Hackett Spencer. Kellen Grace Hamby. Noah Riley Hamrick. Shelby Paige Hanson. Hallie Lane Harp. Zachary Allen Harris. Caitlin Marie Henry. Seth Cole Herndon. Benjamin Luke Hers. Hayden Michael Hurt. Ellie Mae Hockett. Sam Allen Hoffman.
Dylan Briggs Howe. Dolo Delbomo Hubner. Caden Michael Hubler. Jacob Christopher Huscher. Ethan Van Wynn. Ethan Adair Inchicole. Jack Allen Johnson. Lauren Elaine Johnson. William Albert Johnson. Emily Alexis Jordan. Rihanna Abigail Kinnear. Tyler Luke Kaufman. Mason Joseph Kiefer. Connor June Kim. Hannah Marie Kinsel. Kinsey Nicole Kniezel.
Mackenzie Ray Krolichek. Kenza Labidi. Alexandra Ann Labrum. Jordan Neil Lobb. Greta Marie Lawrence. Julia Elizabeth League. Manon Lee. Vincent Lee. Beth Ann Marie Lenz. Renee Helen Lesser. Seth Jude Lewis. Quentin Daniel Lichtai. Sophia Grace Wei-Chen Lowen. Madison Marie Loyal. Zachary Emil Ludolph. Bo Michael Lynch.
Bowen Nathaniel Madden. Hannah Madee. Somebody's out of order here. Eliana Madrin. Isaiah Ibrahim Maikori. Hannah Menani. Bianca Nicole Marrero Pickard. Kadiana Alicia Massengill. Saoirse Sage McAllister. Jared Weston McDavid. Samuel Dean McDavid. Grace Olivia McManus. Marley Jasmine McManus. Duncan Keith McNeil. Alec Edwin Medlin. Paige Nicole Meyer. Melissa May Margaret Mercer.
Raymond Centel Miles Jr. Alexia Nicole Miller. Christian Dean Miller. Lindsay Brooke Miller. Samantha Grace Mall. Alexander Dean Mork. Ashley Nicole Morris. William Todd Murphy. Caitlin Ann Myers. Ashton Lee No. Olivia Young Nguyen. An Lee Hong Nguyen. Riley Don Nguyen. Dylan Ray Nichols. Samuel Isaac Oding. Tyler Michael Offit.
Yes, Tyler! Let's go, Tyler! Daniel Olmos Angel. Ryan Elliott Organ. Nicholas Drew Parker. Grant Thomas Phelps. Sterling Christopher Pierce. Axis Liddell Pearson. Alan Joseph Piper. Amelia Elaine Pryor. Seth Hunter Pugsley. Fisol Shaiwon Rahman. Catherine Grace Ralston. Samuel Guy Ramey. Madeline Ann Ramsey. Joseph Richards Rather. Connor Michael Reardon. Ethan Andrew Richardson.
Emma Andrea Robbins. Kaylee Marie Root. Mariah Michelle Sabo. Alexander William Schaefer. Cleo Malin Schilling. Dylan Dimitri Schoberg. James Taylor Sheets. Zoe Beth Schumacher. Preston James Scott. Natasha Ruwangi Sinaviruthna. Emma Jane Sinclair. Ryan Philip Slate. Sydney Ann Smetak. George Edward Smith II. Andrew Michael Smith. Max Henry Smith.
Molly Marie Smith. Joshua Aaron Sparks. Justin Lee Stanier. Kanaya Ivy Allaire Stebbins. Claudia Alexandra Stevens. Haley Rebecca Strange. Sonia Ann Sundstrom. Jacob Grant Swan. Brittany Ann Swartz. Madeline Aaron T. Sean Victor Thamrin. Hayden Patrick Thompson. Haydar Muhammad Tufaha. Natalie Kate Trigo. Nicholas Scott Triplett.
Marissa Michelle Trujillo. Lark Constance Turner. Natalie Autumn Utter. Vi Lee Thui Vo. Samuel Oscar Volkman. Morgan Janae Wallace. Kenny Carson Weber. Megan Elizabeth Whitten. Anders Pate Whitfield. Hallie Catherine Wilson. Mallory Paige Woolston. Word! Andres Jim Warple. Isabella Nas Warple. Your 2021 graduates.
We're gonna let them finish up their pictures.
We're going to give them just a second to finish up some photos. At this time, will the class of 2021 please stand? Ladies and gentlemen, it is my absolute honor to present to you the Andover High School graduating class of 2021. Toss those caps. Seniors, we're going to recess you out. Remember, we're going to walk in a recessional. Thank you. I need all seniors just to return to your seats so we can recess you off the field and you can celebrate with your families. Thank you. Is the back row ready? Let's recess. Just wait. You're almost there. You are going to leave the way you came. There you go. Is that Maddie? Oh no, who is that?